Welcome, beloveds. I am Astarius Miraculii, speaking to you from within the sacred mirror, which for me is a dimensional doorway. We see in the mirror a reflection of that which is there and is not there simultaneously. Today's subject is all-dimensional emotional honesty. All-dimensional emotional honesty. There is a great power in being emotionally honest. Earlier today, I was feeling an energy like being on my man period, on my man moon, as goddesses bleed every 28 days or so. And I was feeling an energetic that couldn't place my finger on it. It just, I felt a little bit off, a little bit out of sync, but with no specific something that it was associated with. And the emotional honesty for me was simply to own that I was in that now moment feeling a bit out of sorts. Sometimes it is in the acknowledgement of something, even if it's a lower frequency something, the acknowledgement of that gives us the power to then go ahead and transcend it. I often refer to emotional honesty as sacred guts on the table, where we are in the vulnerability of the naked truth. Sacred guts on the table. So my question to you, beloved, is, do you allow your vulnerability and your feeling sensitive? You know, are you in your emotional honesty about moments when you're a little bit scared? You know, we're in times within our world where it's very scary for many. And most every one of us experiences some measure of fear, even if, but only for an instant. You know, I have my little moments of the anomaly of fear. Thanks be unto the grace of God that I transcend quickly. And I do so by way of deliberate intention. First and foremost, I allow myself to be in the emotional honesty of acknowledging a moment when I am seized by some measure of fear, and then embracing the reality that that is not who I really am. I might bring forth the affirmation, if it ain't divine, it ain't mine. Only what's divine is truly mine. That's the disclaimer, which is also an expression of emotional honesty. Because the emotional honesty of our true selfhood is that we are transcendent above and beyond all pain, all despair, all worry, all fear, all difficulty. There is no negative anomaly in life that is bigger than who we really are. And so we want to be in the awareness of that truth, in the embracement of that truth. That all is really truly well in the kingdom of our being and in the kingdom of our reality. It's also about the emotional honesty of the absoluteness of who we are. That's why the subject is all-dimensional emotional honesty. So we want to be emotionally honest about challenges that we may have in this moment, but then also emotionally honest about that greater vastness of who we are that is transcendent above and beyond it all. That resonance of who we are that is never touched by any darkness or any negativity. You know, there is an inner divinity that is so powerful. An inner divinity that knows that it is wise not to despise it. We want to use the dawn to fertilize it, for life's greatest connoisseur gets the best crops from the best manure. No matter how difficult the circumstances of life are, they are fertilizer dumped upon the soil of our life experiences. And we have the power to yield a richer crop, not so much in spite of the waste, but because of the waste. Just like the actual fertilizer that is dumped upon the soil, and we never heard the soil complain. The soil never said, "Oh man, you dumped on me." But rather the soil engaged in the wisdom of alchemy, and the soil then yielded a richer crop, not so much in spite of the waste, but because of the waste. So hear ye, beloved, play not a game of chance. Maintain a lofty attitude to conquer lowly circumstance. Some circumstances seem so bad, though goodness in disguise. It's up to us to see the good, or else be victimized. For if a circumstance seems down, and we reject it with a frown, that circumstances then compel to pull us down in mental hell. But if we keep our mind on high, despite the pain of circumstance, up with our attitude, the circumstance rises, and beyond its pain, we then advance. For bitter circumstance is as a medicine to bring the wellness of a learned lesson, but we must swallow this medicine down to receive the healing and achieve the blessing. For if we spit this medicine out, life gives another dose without a doubt. Then we become victim of circumstance, a tyrant from which we can't advance until we learn to face it with a smile and drink that bitter cup and go the extra mile, so that all things may be enhanced, because your attitude is more important than circumstance. I'm quoting myself here. I call that poem, "Attitudes are more important than circumstances." It's a selection from my book, Miraculii, Song of Ascension, and I highly recommend it for you, beloved. So all-dimensional, emotional honesty, sacred guts on the table. We want to be in emotional honesty when we're vulnerable, be in emotional honesty when we're needing support. When you are requiring support, beloved, do you reach out and ask for help? Do you ask for support? Sometimes there's an egoic voice inside that says, I should be able to do this myself. And the greater truth is that we're always doing it ourselves. But ourselves is a great, multidimensional, multifaceted, unlimited, omnipresent resonance of being. It takes the omnipresence to define who our presence really is. You are defined by the whole of the universe, beloved. It takes the universe to define you, because you are your own version of the whole universe, and nobody can do the universe exactly like you. Being in emotional honesty is also being aware that potential is the embryonic fulfillment of the crystallized accomplishment that has yet to manifest. Therefore, be where you're going even before you get there. Just like when you're in the experience of a trip you're about to take. You haven't taken the trip yet. Maybe it's a couple weeks down the road. And yet, you are where you are going before you get there by virtue of the exalted appreciation and excitement that you feel about taking that trip. The excitement that you feel about a trip that you're going to take is in actuality an experience of the trip, even though in physicality you have yet to actually take the trip. But the trip is being taken by you at a frequency level in the inner sanctum of your mind and your being. And by virtue of you allowing yourself to feel an exalted feeling frequency about a trip yet to be taken, you are in fact being where you're going, even before you get there. What is the trip that you're looking forward to taking into a higher domain of accomplishment in your life? A greater expression of creativity in your life. Even when one is in the mode of creating something, the tremendous joy and excitement they feel about what they are about to create becomes the reality of creation itself, even though there is yet to be the full-on manifestation of the creation. Every time is now. Every space is here. Everyone is us. See? The time reality of the full fruition of manifested creation is simultaneous to the exalted joy that is felt before that crystallization. Potential is the embryonic fulfillment of the crystallized accomplishment that has yet to manifest. Therefore, be where you are going even before you get there. I offer these tones to give empowerment to your thrust of creation, my thrust of creation, our thrust of creation. Now, let me get my tarot cards here. A little box over here, tarot cards, and maybe the astro dice also. There we go. Some divination tools here. Because I'm speaking to you from within the mirror, I'm not seeing my screen relative to what you might be saying to me or questions that you might be asking from on the screen. So I'm going to use my tarot cards. I'd like for you to go ahead and focus on what it is that you would most like to be made aware of right now. What questions, do you have that you would like me to divine and do a little divination and offer you something? So just think of it, beloved. Everybody think, focus, what it is that you're most wanting to know. And I'm shuffling these cards here. We're going to pull forth a message that's going to be applicable to all of us, and even very extensively to certain ones of us. But here it is. Okay, so this message. Okay, I've got the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a card of some despair. So I'm speaking directly to someone who is feeling despair and feeling maybe taken advantage by someone or someone's. Maybe it's a group of people that you feel have been taking advantage of you. And maybe there's a little bit of a resentment in there and some confusion about how to actually move forward. This is the energy, it's like a bullying kind of an energy. And we are experiencing that in our world. In fact, there's an overall frequency of some energetic bullying that is going on in the world, and all of you know exactly what it is that I'm speaking about. And there is something within us that so powerfully transcends this difficulty. Now I'm going to flip here and I'm going to ask for clarity about the solution to the transcendence of this bullying frequency. And we get the Four of Wands, which is a house that represents the sacred family. It's a castle and it's a family, and it's fulfilling and it's joyous. And so to transcend this bullying energy, and the bullying may also be a bullying that we're inflicting upon ourselves, because if you're engaging in a major degree of self-criticism, that is self-bullying. In fact, you're bullying your inner child. Whenever you are in severe criticism of yourself, you're actually engaging in inner child abuse. You're beating up on a little 1-year-old version of your own self. So whenever you are criticizing yourself and you're beating up on yourself, stop and ask yourself the question, do I really want to draw back and punch this little 1-year-old me in the face? You see, this self-criticism that we engage in, again, is a self-bullying tendency, and we want to transcend that. We want to move beyond that. See, this solution, being the Four of Wands, represents supreme harmony in the interaction with all of our relations, supreme harmony in the interaction with family. So the message is to begin to exalt our inner vision. Even if there is a bullying situation or a negative confrontational situation that is going on, we want to make sure that we're not breathing excessive life force into that negative thing. We're not pouring gasoline on the fire. We don't want to, expand the treachery. Sometimes if we give treachery for treachery, we actually make the treachery even bigger than it was in the first place. So let us see what is needed that our prayer will be heeded. Let us see it as though we've already succeeded. Have faith in advance, let good be left not up to chance, for if faith be postdated, then your blessings are belated, and when you're good, you detain the whole world bears the strain. Therefore, invoke the spirit of fire, purge the enemy of your desire, and make the wise decision to maximize your vision. Now, even if it's not a personal experience of harmony that is going on in your individual life, you can be in the emotional honesty of looking everywhere and every wind that you can see harmony taking place between beloveds. And be in the recognition that every focalization of harmony is your own personal harmony by extension, because we are at one with every good thing that happens in the whole of the universe. The only thing is lacking is our claiming of that reality. And so it's time to stop walking in separation and walk in the wholeness of our being. The all-dimensionality of the emotional honesty says that we have a cell within us for every man, woman, and child, for every angel, an ascended master, for every ocean, mountain, and stream, for every mineral, plant, and animal, for every elemental star and galaxy, because we are the master cell and soul, who is the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. We are soul in the body of the universe, and the universe is a multifaceted cell in the body of our souls. Here, I've just turned over another card. I turn over the card, which is, you don't see it clearly this way, but you'll be able to feel the frequency of it. This is the world, or the card, which is also referred to sometimes as the universe, tying directly into what I was just speaking about. You are your own version of the whole universe. Are you owning the universe that you are? The universe that you are is infinitely capable. The universe that you are is infinitely courageous. The universe that you are is fully creative. The universe that you are is absolutely aware of your worthiness to receive the epitome of fulfillment in your love relationships. The universe that you are absolutely knows that you can transcend and overcome every difficult situation. The universe that you are is like unto that ocean that is backing the wave of your individualized being. And as your individual being rolls upon the shores of your life, the entire power of the ocean of life is behind you. The entire power of the ocean of the universe is behind you. Be the reality of the universe that you are. Now I'm going to just turn around and see if there's any comments going on here. I don't see any comments up there. Maybe they're not showing on the screen, but that's okay. All love and all beauty and all power. I'm going to bring in a little bit of the frequency of the didgeridoo now. That's an important energy. I want you to focus upon your healing intentions while I offer this frequency of the didgeridoo. All is well in the kingdom of this sacred reality. And this didgeridoo I call Baby Astarius, named after one of my twins. Everybody has an inner child. I have twins, Baby Astarius and little Miraculii. This one is Baby Astarius. Here we go. Thank you, beloved Creator, God, Goddess Absolute, and divine angels for the sacredness of this now moment. Thank you, beloved Creator, that we are in the divine remembrance of who and what we really are, that we are championing ourselves, and we are in the recognition that the whole universe is our champion. God, Goddess Absolute is our champion. And by virtue of our embrace of this truth, we are now feeling the resonance of safety. We're feeling the resonance of peace. We're feeling the resonance of joy. We are feeling the resonance of immunity, invincibility, and vulnerability to any and all negatives within the world. We bless the darkness, make it right, reverse the tide, and free the light by virtue of that God presence that is portaling through us. We own our inner divinity, and in owning our inner divinity, we are at one with the reality of the infinite love that we are. By virtue of our inner divinity, we are of the awareness and owning the infinite peace that we are. Each and every one of us at the central core of our being carries that peace which passes all understanding. Thank you, Divine Creator, that every being within earshot of these words that are spoken are now in that resonant connection with that sacred peace that exists within the central core of their being, that peace that passes all understanding, that peace that transcends every difficulty. Thank you, Divine Creator, that we are in alignment with the blissify of our being, that not only are we meant to be peaceful, but we can be bliss itself. And so we thank you for giving us the presence of mind and heart to bliss all over ourselves. Let bliss be a resonance that ripples throughout our entire being. We are grateful for this now moment, and we thank you, Divine Creator, for aligning us with that future time when our world is no longer in crisis, and giving us the presence of mind and heart that every time is now. And so that time of the future where we have a world that is without crisis is at one with this now moment. And so we pre-memorate that future time of no world crisis and bring it into the now memoration of this sacred moment. And we allow ourselves to feel the feeling frequency of living within a world that is void of crisis, living within a world that is full of brotherhood and sisterhood and benevolent, loving exchanges between all beings. Living in a world where the peopleocracy is the prevailing force because there is so much exaltation of consciousness and love in the populace at large. Divine Creator, we draw forth the feeling frequency of the exalted evolvement of every accelerated and evolved culture that exists within the whole of the universe. All those cultures and all those societies and all those planets and beings who have went beyond where it is that we are in this now moment, we call forth those frequencies into resonant connection with us to therefore jumpstart ourselves individually as well as jumpstart collectively our entire world. We open to the exalted frequency of our older brothers and sisters in this cosmos. We open to the exalted frequency of the angels. We open to the exalted frequency of the ascended masters. And we recognize the cellular memory within us that is the pre-memoration of the reality of our own ascended masterhood. Bringing it into harmonic convergence with this now moment. All is well in the kingdom of this divine reality, and we thank you, Divine Creator. So thank you, beloveds, for co-creating with me. I am Astarius Miraculii. I love you so much. My website is astarius.com. I am available for intuitive astrological readings, sound healing transmissions with Didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. I practice and teach Reiki. I have 24 music albums and a couple of books. Everything that you hear me reciting are selections from my book. And I would encourage you to go to my website, astarius.com, astarius.com, and surf through there. I got some amazing treasures there. You can hear sound clips on all of the albums as well as read excerpts from the books. And digital albums are only $9.99, and I have an ongoing special: buy 2 albums and you get a third one free. I thank you so much for you partaking of my creations. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to support your expansion on a one-on-one basis by virtue of an individual session. If you happen to be in Atlanta, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and available for in-person sessions here, but I also, 80% of my clientele is from all over the world and all over the country. So we can do virtual work no matter where it is that you are on this wonderful planet of ours. Aho Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, in Lakesh, Alakin, Shalom, Satnam, Hariom, Rastafari. Our sacred juices are cooked and infinitely expanding. Juicefari, Blissifari. We'll always have many miles on our smile, wiggle in our giggle, tingling in our boots, laughter ever after, putting our strut, wings on our butt, always rising up. Up at the top, there's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all. And so it is, and so it shall eternally be. Oh, I said, let me turn around a moment and just see if there's anything I need to respond to before I exit here. Well, now, let's see. All of a sudden, where's all those? I seen all those comments on the screen, and where did they go? Okay, let me see if I can call them back. Comments, thumbs up. Oh, there they are. Okay, got it. Okay, hello, Astarius, and all I hear sending you so much love and bright light. Come on back here. Okay, I'm learning this thing here. When the comments disappear, I call them back. Okay, let's see what else we got. Come back. It keeps disappearing. Okay, I gotta get one of those didgeridoos one day. Though to be honest, I'd probably just be playing around with it. Just pissing off my neighbors and scaring the dogs in the neighborhood. Well, thank you for some laughter. Gratitude from Australia, and thank you, beloved, in Australia, the tribal vessel and country from which the didgeridoo has found its way into the world. Okay. Anyway, thank you all so much for co-creating with me. I love you so much. And I hold you in my prayers and in my thoughts, and you do the same thing for me. And also, just to be aware, I am going to be doing a regular live, which is called Alchemy and Redemption. And it's going to be every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So you'll be able to catch me on a regular basis relative to that, and tell everybody about it. Love you so much. Looking forward to when we circle in again. Peace and blessings.